All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and much love. Salutations to those who elect. You brothers presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice for the names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Each and every single week, each and every single day, man. All right, TLC Shalom. It's Brother Yakar coming at you with a lesson, another lesson, man, through the spirit. Me and the brothers, we was talking about this topic. We was gonna do it as a joint lesson. We still might later on, just so other brothers can expound on it and give their take. But it's things to know and things to consider when you first come in. Basically your first couple months of being in. Realizing that you're an Israelite, being in the truth. Things that are, helpful to know. Things that me personally speaking, which me, like I said, me and the brothers, we spoke about it, but things that really we wish that we knew, at that point in time. And that we not necessarily know, because you're taught these things when you first come in. But things that you understood. Okay. Because knowing, or knowing that, okay, yeah, I'm not supposed to do this, but then actually acting on it and acknowledging it, it's two different things. But like I said, just a couple things to things to, like I said, a couple things to know when you first come in, your first couple months. Number one being realistic, okay, which is it's number one to me, because this is something that not only me, but you hear stories, and a lot of brothers struggle with the same thing, or struggled with the same thing. But when you first come in, man, you find out you're an Israelite, you find out you about to get the kingdom, it's all good, all peaches and cream. But from that point on, man, Jake is like, they just like, fuck everything else, I'm about this, which is not bad, but there's no balance in it. And when I say they're saying fuck everything else, like, me personally speaking, I came in and it was to the point I wasn't worried about getting a job no more. I wasn't worried about paying bills. I was going to try to move out, and I said, fuck it, I'm not moving out. I wasn't worried about getting a car. I was just worried about doing this work. Okay? Salakia. I was just worried about doing this work. But another thing that I was expecting too, I was expecting to, be out. We was going to get delivered this, the next day, the next day, the next day, this our last month, this our last week, this our last year, things like that. And that's not being realistic, We got to understand that, for one, the Lord is long suffering. So we can't expect things to happen overnight in a sense, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Expecting things to come as quick as you want it, that's not expedient. It's not gonna get you anywhere, man. Because at the end of the day, this is all up to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and this is all his will. So however long he wants it to take, that's how long he's gonna have it. And all we can do is just sit back and accept it. And that's why I said being realistic, man, because what you're doing when you're being realistic is, okay, we know we're about to get out soon. Prime example this year, man, you got all this war shit going on and forth. They've been talking about World War III since fucking January 2nd, I think. January 2nd and 3rd. But for last 4 days they've been talking about they've been talking about World War III. Not being realistic, you're expecting the war to happen next week. Okay? And Then on top of that, ignoring the fact that the Lord said that all prophecies must come to pass before we get delivered. We still have to wait on Jacob's trouble. We still have to wait on the RFID chip. The things that are happening now is very beautiful. It's all, being set up and being put in play. But we're not finna get out within the next week. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not enough of leeway, for things to actually pop off. And if I'm not, Salaki, if I'm mistaken, but I do believe I've heard the apostles say before, I think it was Apostle Hart, but saying something about how, Jacob's trouble is gonna be a minute. It's not gonna be super long, but it's gonna be a good duration of months, maybe, 2 to 3 months, something like that. Like I said, Salaki, if I'm mistaken, but I heard that somewhere. I think I was watching one of their videos or something. But regardless, Jacob's trouble isn't finna be just a 1 week thing and then we getting out. You gotta be realistic, man. Um, it's going to be a minute. Okay, it's going to be a minute. So that's really the one thing that, like I said, being realistic when you coming in, like I said, your first couple months in, that's going to help you grow more and it's going to help you understand more at the end of the day, because you're actually you're using common sense, so to speak. Because like I said, man, expecting to be delivered or expecting World War III to happen from all the things that's happening right now in the next couple of days, that's stupid. That makes no sense. All right, going into the next point, number 2. Being patient, man. Okay, you come in and you ready for things to just happen right then and there. You ready to get all the wisdom. You ready to get all the knowledge, all the understanding. You got to be patient, man. Okay? The apostles, starting from Apostle Hart down to all those men, they're able to teach all the things that they know, and their knowledge is is such on a major level because they've put the time into this. They've invested in this, They put the blood, sweat, and tears into this ministry, into learning, into teaching, etc. So they're being patient, man, and that took patience. All right, that took a lot of patience, man. The apostles didn't come in and they didn't start speaking the things that they speaking now, man. That's stuff that you learn over time. They've been in for 30 plus years. Okay? So you expecting to be on their type of level, on an elder's level, or even a brother's level that's, a year or two older than you, that's been in this thing for longer than you. It's not very good, man. It's like speeding. You're not gonna go anywhere with that. Okay? You have to be patient in this thing. All right, let me see. So I can bear with me. As a matter of fact, hold on. All right, Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Okay, so it's better, man, to be patient in the spirit, man. All right, it's a good thing early on to practice patience. I'm when I say that, I'm speaking from experience, because that's something that I just got the full grasp on that, man. being patient, you know, that it goes more to just waiting on how shot to come back, man. You gotta apply that to everything. Okay? Because if you're impatient about the most littlest things, man, you're not gonna be patient about the biggest things. The biggest is Yahweh Shah coming back. Okay? The biggest is all these prophecies unfolding. Okay? Falling in line. All right, so being patient, that's a very big thing. And that's like I said, it's a good thing to practice it early on, man. Because if you practice it early on, then it gets stuck in your head earlier. That means you understand it earlier. All right. Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 24. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient. Okay. So you claiming to be a servant of the Lord, man, you gotta have patience. All right. You have to have patience. It's very necessary. All right. And you know there's multiple scriptures about it. All right. You better see it. So if you want, you can go into it. Third point though. Don't waver, man. Because when you first come in, you find out that you're an Israelite. All right, cool. Then you get thrown with this camp. You get thrown with that camp. You know, you seeing videos. You hearing bad stuff about these guys. You hearing bad stuff about those guys. About the guys down the block. You start hearing about shit like flat Earth. You know, all these other things that don't matter and that aren't expedient or they aren't edifying. You know, and a lot of times people will feed into those things, man. Okay. Matter of fact. Damn it. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And that's something that happens a lot of times, which is why, you know, people first come in and shit. There's a good group, man, that don't make it past 6 months to a year. Why? Because they started to waver. Okay, they was listening to each and every camp. They was listening to all the doctrines and trying to compare and contrast them. You don't need to be worrying about anything else but what the apostles and the elders of GMS are teaching, man. Okay? Which, if you are part of the elect and you're a true man of the Lord, then you will understand that those men have the truth. Okay? We're not following nobody else. We're not listening to nobody else. You know, to this day, I know a couple things about the other camps, like as to how they're going off, but I didn't, you know, I haven't spent days on top of days of watching their videos and comparing it to the apostles. And, well, they said this, so let me go see what they said. There's no point in doing that, you know? There's no point in doing that, man. You got to be rooted and grounded in this thing. And if you're not just listening to one group, you're going to bug out. And that's guaranteed. Okay? You're going to bug out, man. Let me see. James chapter 1. I'll start at 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Okay, verse 7, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, and that's you begin to become double-minded once you start paying attention to all these camps. Once you start watching multiple camps and giving heed to multiple doctrines. You know, niggas find out they Israelite, now they on the book of Enoch, They talking about the earth is flat, you know. Just saying the simplest shit, man. The most simplest shit. Which a lot of those guys were 2019 niggas, and we see where they're at now. Nowhere to be found. I ain't heard nothing from them yet. Okay? So, you got the simplest people, man. These simplest, you become really simple once you start listening to all these other doctrines, okay? And not just focusing on one doctrine. Even if you aren't going to listen to GMS, the least you could do is just follow the one fucking group that you claiming that got the truth. Which a lot of you guys, y'all still bugged out. You know? You don't follow GMS, but then you got one camp that you mainly follow, but you still checking in and watching all the... For what? If you gonna be with them, man, stick with them, man. Okay? But if you gonna watch GMS, that's who you need to stick with. You don't need to be watching nobody else. You don't need to be listening to anything that anybody else says. Because you going and they're scoffers. A lot of these guys are scoffers. They're gonna come against the apostles and the elders and brothers that are in GMS. And they're gonna say, oh, they're rapists and they're this, they're that. Don't pay attention to that shit, man. If they're not pulling evidence and cold facts, there's nothing that why are you what's to pay attention to? Why pay mind to it? You know what I'm saying? It's pointless. It makes no sense. These guys been saying that the apostles and the elders and everybody else in GMS is rapists for the longest. And they don't have a damn article, let alone a fucking text message saying that somebody's actually doing this shit, man. We're not locked up for it. We're still able to roam freely. If we were doing all those things, then why aren't we locked up? Because we don't do those things. You know? So like I said, that's the third point, man. All right, don't be wavering. Don't give in to them seducing spirits, man. Don't just leave that shit where it is. All those other doctrines, if it ain't what you learn, okay? Let me get that. I think it says something about sticking. Oh, how does that go? Damn, how does that go? Boom, 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 the water. The water, how about you, my shot? 2 Timothy's, I keep saying that. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. But, Salaki, I started 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And that goes, hey, you being deceived, man, hey, you gonna wax worse and worse. Being deceived by those seducing spirits. The doctrines of devils, okay? Listening to flat earth and all this other bullshit that Jake's coming up with. You know, niggas out here talking about you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. At the end of the day, Jake just want to be above the apostles, man. And they jealous of the authority that those men have. Those men have been appointed to lead the nation of Israel. And niggas are mad about it. They're jealous. Okay? They're envious. They're coveting something else, man. You can covet spiritual gifts, but that's on a whole nother level, man. That's straight jealousy. To the point where they're hating these men for that. Okay? Verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of. You need to be paying attention to everything that you learn and continuing in that. Okay? You're getting confirmation on everything that you've been taught from GMS. You don't get confirmation from those other guys because their doctrines are steady being debunked all the time, man. The Lord is steady revealing these people, man. Steady lifting up their damn skirts. All they shit got goddamn flaws in it. You know? Yeah, some of them brothers go out, you know. At the end of the day, hey, hey, brothers going out, hey, you going out, man. You doing the work. We all here for the same cause, but we just don't agree on all the things. But the things that we don't agree on, we bring out scriptures backing it up. They don't. That's where the difference is, man. Okay? So these men, hey, shit, we leave them where they at. All right? I'll keep reading. Knowing of whom thou hast learned them. Okay? So you need to be sticking to who you learn from, man. Who you originally learned from. All right? And if you do so happen to come across GMS, that's who you need to be sticking with, man. Okay? But like I said, yeah, that's number 3. Don't waver. Number 4, expect the worst. I'll get this scripture. Very famous. Ecclesiastes 2:1. Salakia. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So, you know, when you first come in, you see a couple videos, you know, you hear a couple things. And that's probably one of the first things that you hear is, you know, you're going to lose everything, you're going to get tried, etc., etc. But you really need, like, when you first come in, man, and when you fresh in, you need to expect the worst, man. You know, you need to expect the worst thing to happen to you. All right? Hope for the best, but expect the worst. And I say that because, like I said, man, the earlier that you understand something, the easier it is down the road, man. You know, it won't be so hard to swallow those things later on down the line because you've done it at an early rate. Okay? It's easier for a child to learn. Just, you know, if a child grows up and they first start speaking a certain language, it's easier for them to learn their language because that's what they started out on. Now, let him get fucking 20-something years old, 30 years old, he going to be struggling to learn that, you know, that language. Why? Because he's starting so late. You know, he didn't have an understanding of it before then. You know what I'm saying? You first come out the womb, you know, your people speaking English and shit. I can't go learn Spanish right now. That shit gonna kick my ass. You know what I'm saying? But if I started out learning that, if I had people teaching me both Spanish and English, because that's what a lot of people do too, you know, you get taught multiple languages, but, you know, if I started out on that, it would have been easier. You know? So, that's what I'm saying, man. It's better to expect the worst early on. That way, when it actually does happen later on down the line, you're good. You're less stressed. You're less worried about it, and you're still keeping the faith. You're still remaining in the faith, man. You're not worried about it. It's like, fuck it. I already knew this. You know. I already knew this was gonna come. I already knew this was gonna happen. So I'm not gonna trip out about it like that. You know. I've been expecting this the whole time. Now, that doesn't mean you just expect a whole bunch of goddamn bad shit, because you gotta expect the good and the bad, man. But at the same time, as far as certain situations go, you know, like getting captured, or, you know, everybody should be expected to, you know, or willing to die for this truth, I should say. Because there's going to be brothers that have to die for this foe or for this truth, man. Brothers are going to be beheaded for this word. Now, who? We don't know. But you should expect that it might be you. Okay? You should assume, shit, it might be me. That's what I'm saying. You get yourself ready early for that, man. That way, even if it does come, you're ready for it. You've been prepared for it. I'd rather prepare for something and then it not happen, then not prepare for something and then it happen. Okay? If that makes sense, man. When you're prepared, you're ready for whatever happens and you're good. All right? Let me get that. I'm going to Google that word. The fuck is prepared mustard? Prepared, made ready to use, ready to do or deal with something. Or prepare, make something ready to use for or consideration, created in advance. Let me see. Make someone ready or able to do or deal with something. Okay. So that's all it is, man. We're preparing. Okay. We're preparing for the worst to happen. Now, when you are unprepared, that's when you fucked up. Okay? Unprepared, not ready or able to deal with something. Not willing to do something. You know what I'm saying, man? The biggest thing we need to prepare to do for it, or to do concerning this truth, is die for this word. You know, we need to be prepared to die for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Yahushai died for us. It's the least that we could do for him. But if you're not prepared to do that, then when that time comes, you're not going to be willing to do it. You're not going to want to do it because you haven't prepared yourself for that. You haven't prepared your spirit. You didn't prepare your spirit to be spiritually grounded, or to be grounded, to be rooted. You know? Know what I'm saying? It's better to expect the worst early on and prepare early on, man. Which really, that could be another point. Preparation is everything. You know, you have to make sure you're prepared for any and everything, man. Because that's how the Lord is going to throw anything at you, man. Okay, he said he chastises those that he loves, roughly paraphrasing. He sees it as his sons. So he's going to chastise us. We're going to get tried. Just read it in Sirach. If you're going to come serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. All right, so we gotta be ready and be prepared for anything to go down, man. You gotta be ready, and if you're not ready, then shit, I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna be worse off for you. You're gonna be worse off if you're not ready for something. Okay, so that was it, man. Like I said, a couple points to keep in mind. Even if you ain't first coming in, man, that's just things that, you know, that's just things that brothers should know, man. You know, with you a month in, 6 months, a year, 2 years, you know, these are things that you should still know. All right. We still need to understand we have to be realistic. All right. Having patience, not wavering, and expecting the worst. All right. Preparing for all these things that are coming. Especially the times that we're in, man. We need to definitely be ready for anything that comes next, because we know it's going to hit hard. Okay? So, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying to you, brothers. Before I close, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and much love, salutations, and blessings to the house of Israel. All right, the hopeful elect. All right, you brothers, man, y'all keep pushing and keep fighting this good fight of faith. It's 2020, year of the prophecy. Definite destruction is coming to this place, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bahashim Chakodash. Hey, until the next time, man, Shalom. Y'all brothers keep enduring, man. Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and Mawaf Ball. Come on, damn it.